We're talking about League of Legends right now. TikTok, my boy, David. All right, you're slaying right now. All right, you're killing it. At least I think so, and that's what matters right now. And if you guys are gonna get into all this TikTok fiasco, you're gonna have to fight with him on this one, all right?
Bet.
And so, assuming you're not posting these WAP dance performances, you know what I mean? Hitting the wet ass pussy is cool with me. But assuming you're not going through with those level of TikToks, how did you get your start within all of this?
Honestly, it was.
It was WAP, wasn't it? It was WAP.
So I
threw him off entirely, man.
Yeah, he didn't see it coming.
I was not expecting it.
Here's the thing. I have no shame.
Dope.
And
All right.
Dope.
there have been a numerous amount of times where I've tweeted out, if somebody wins X game in the LCS, I will do something dumb. My wife has had to stop me twice now from doing something that's like stupidly embarrassing that might ruin an image a little bit. So
All right, gnarliest thing you ever did.
Yeah,
gnarliest
come on.
thing.
Dude, I've put out too much stuff to really remember like the worst thing ever. Like
That's fair. That's fair.
Top five.
Top five. Yeah, top five.
For the start of this past ranked season for League of Legends, I made like a video like trying to like hype people up and get ready for the climb to begin.
Sure.
I went out to, so I live over in Hell's Kitchen. There's like a little park right by us on the riverside that I went out and like filmed like a hype video of like me like taking off like the corporate attire because I'm in corporate America. I'm like getting down to like a gamer jersey and clothes and like getting ready to grind out. And at the end of it, I wanted it to look like I was screaming, and I couldn't make it look right fake screaming. So in a park with about 30 people around, I literally let out like the biggest scream in the world so it was actually authentic on camera.
Yeah.
The amount of people that like looked around were like, what the fuck is he doing?
What is going
got,
on?
like her 2-year-old kid in a stroller walking by, and like she's seen some 6'4" guy just screaming. It's like, oh man, they're really letting the homeless out anyway. Oh, Jesus, like it would. I mean, that's the biggest one that stands out in my mind. But it's just like if somebody asked me to do a dance, like I haven't done it yet, but I have no shame that like if the right time and moment calls for it, I will do it out of somebody telling me to do it, or if I lose a bet or a joke. Like I don't. But like
start challenging them.
That's
all right. We got the Frank challenges coming up.
All right,
you got to go to Central Park, nude, maybe, and what is the latest dance? I don't even know what the latest fucking dances. The can. I don't know. Cotton Eye Joe. Like I
couldn't tell you.
There's the latest dance trend as of right. No, I can't do it. But the latest dance trend where like somebody will have their phone propped up, and you'll kick it over, and like they'll kick their heels up in front of it. Okay. I forget what song it's to, but you if you haven't seen it yet, you will see it in the next few days. I tend to see these things like very early on because I'm on TikTok like 90% of the time. When you see some weird like ankle moving thing over a camera, I know it right now. You're thinking, what the fuck is he saying?
But we're gonna start seeing it every day.
That's what everybody said whenever we first started downloading TikTok. You will see it. I promise.
All right.
Somebody in this building, I guarantee, knows what I'm talking about. Can back me up. But right now, I probably look like I'm an idiot. I will find it though. But no, I mean Look, TikTok has just always been about consistency and creativity. You can't.
You gotta stand out.
You can 100%. Capitalize on trends, but once you're popular, like Charlie D'Amelio and Dixie D'Amelio are not like they're doing trends that other people created, and they're just boosting the popularity.
Right.
If you want to break into the scene, if you want to find a name or like get yourself to the point where you can get into Carnage Clan, you need to offer something unique. You need to find your hole that nobody else is in yet, and you need to just start working from there. Find the thing that you're passionate about that you can pump out consistent content every day on and not feel like it's a job, not feel like it's a bore, and then just keep creating your narrative. And eventually it will build. It just takes time. Like it's not as simple as you're going to go on, you're going to create 2 videos, go viral, and voila, all of a sudden I'm on Jimmy Fallon, I'm having interviews, I've got these options. It's like, no. I've been on TikTok for a year and a half. I've got 1.5 million likes, and I've made a whopping total of $0 from it.
Right.
So it's like the numbers that people want to sell you on are not always the reality. Right. It's just a matter of understanding.
Very well said. Absolutely.
But I think even though like you put those numbers up there, and to me, like if my band had 1.5 million like followers, like it's over, game over. I'll see you guys. Quit the job. You know what I mean? Throw my check away.
On the private jet.
Exactly. Yeah, like I'll be out of here. I'll be partying with Drake. At the end of the day. But I think from what you mentioned, I think perfectly, is that it's about the content that you're putting out there. And I scrolling through your stuff ever since I first met you through the ones and zeros. Back in like November.
Yep.
I've been following your stuff. I love all of it. Specifically the League 101s. I think that's creative as shit. As well as fuck, I'm blanking it on right now. The league music trivia, or at least just all the trivias that you do in general.
So
explain their thought process with
that. Was about the biggest thing that I want with my channel is to tackle the issue that North America has with League of Legends, and it's that the player base has been stagnant for a few years. Which I know a lot of people in gaming, it's like, okay, well, people aren't coming to your game now. That's a big problem. Sure. But how many of us are still playing football? Yeah, we all watch it. You don't always need people playing your game to make the entertainment product pop.
Right.
So my goal is to get people into League of Legends, whether that's through playing. I've hosted trivia nights with Brookland out in Brooklyn. I've hosted events at OSNYC trying to do like League of Legends tournaments and affiliated events there. It's like anything to grow the game in a variety of fashions will help. So those trivia videos, I came up with 30 trivia questions that we did on a trivia night out there. And afterwards, after the event was done, I was like, okay, I'm just going to put these on TikTok for like individual series, 5 questions apiece. So it's like those videos are byproducts of other efforts that I'm just trying to make to grow League. Sure. I want people, like 10 years from now, I want to be able to come to New York City and I want to be able to watch a League of Legends match in the same way that you watch a Knicks and a Rangers game right now.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't have to be
the
as
goal.
big a
That's
scale,
the goal. Yeah.
But eventually we're going to get there.
Oh yeah.
And if I can help
100%.
push that further, if I can help get us one step further than we would have been had I not said anything, then I've done my job.
Right.
I don't give a shit about the likes, I don't give a shit about the views. I care about this, and that's the long-term goal that I want.
Absolutely.
If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I'm sure I'll pivot to something later, but I'm telling you right now, like, I will sit here and I'll get off work at 8 and take a walk up to Central Park and back just to clear my head for a bit, and I'll be sitting there and a Chainsmoker song will come on, and I'll think of an entire music video leading up to Worlds, which is going to be in New York City this year. And it's just like, I can't get that shit out of my mind at all. I'll sit there and I'll literally be on the verge of tears, and it's like, it's almost here.
Yeah, yeah.
It just needs that extra step. And that's the thing that keeps me going, so it's easy to create content from it, because I truly love it and care about it.
You got to. You have to. That reflects in your content directly, so.
I say, like, that loyalty to the game in itself, mixed in with that love, is just a forever potion that you're never going to really burn through. And that's how you really show your passion. And at least in the videos I noticed, that passion is so extremely relevant. And it, based off of what you were mentioning, a little bit earlier, is like, people want to watch people who are passionate and who are driven and who really love what they're getting into. And so I guess, when I'm thinking about the progress of, what's coming next, what's coming after, I'm curious for your sake, is there anything coming next after League for you? Is there any other topics that you want to dive into, or are you sticking with it till it burns out?
As of right now, League is my game.
There we go.
Like there is no other genre of game that offers the level of competitive strategy that comes with MOBAs, that offers the diversity of game. Like every single time, like I'll liken it to Warzone. When you drop into Warzone, it's the same map every time, but there's a different experience based on the loot that you get. You can have a similar way to how you want to play it out, but you don't always know who you're playing against. In MOBAs, it's that times 10.
Right,
because
everything's different.
Not only are you going into each game with a different character, but like there is a drafting element to it. It's like if Warzone had the equivalent of like, okay, you're gonna grab, I don't know the current weapons of Warzone, so I'm gonna like relating this to the games. If you have a scar, I can't have a scar.
Right.
So what am I gonna get that one ups you?
Right.
Or that
Right.
you might kill me early on, but what do I scale to? And if I can stall 10, 20 minutes, I'm then better than you.
Right.
There's an element of strategy and complexity there that does not exist in first-person shooter games.
Right.
Which by all means, first-person shooter games will have a soft place in my heart and always will. I still watch Call of Duty to this day.
100%.
But the level of complexity there is different.
It's hard to beat.
Until a genre or game comes out that is competitively balanced and offers those same things, there's nothing that's going to replace it for me. I'm not
love
saying
that.
that it won't ever happen.
Ride or die.
I'm not oblivious to that. But like,
We're getting that in blood. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
things could change. I'm not taking that away. But as of right now, there is nothing out there that offers a similar experience for me. I think I went out to Astoria that weekend for something to see a friend. And on the way back, a dad and his 8-year-old son are on the subway. And his son's holding a map to Arthur Ashe Stadium with like all the Fortnite events going on, and his dad's like trying to look at it confused, and the kid's trying to explain it to his dad, and he was not getting his point clear of like what this thing in Fortnite was.
Right.
And I was looking at my phone and I peeped up and I was like, just so you know, it's this equivalent in football. And he's like, oh, thank you. Like,
Yes,
that makes
yes.
sense.
I always do that. Always compared to football.
And I was like, no problem, just went back on my phone. But it's like that father and son bond
Right.
is something that
That's powerful.
I wish would have been around whenever we were kids, but it wasn't. And if you can help out in any way, if kids can attend these events and do these things,
Oh, yeah.
like that's going to progress it so far beyond what we have. It's just going to exponentially grow rather than the steady pace that we.
Yep.
That feeling, that being able to see it tangibly as well,
It's huge for
Go
them.
hand in hand, and they're massive.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, the immersive aspect is key, like you were saying, and it's why I'm really intrigued by VR. Again, I don't think we're there yet, but that level of immersiveness, it brings it, not necessarily in the same aspect we're talking about with children and their parents and that bond, but just as gamers as a whole, I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic. So.
I don't know. I guess, you talk a lot about that immersion and that experience, and my automatic thought is, Modern Warfare 2. It's coming. Whew, I got the blood pumping. I'm ready to drop into it. How would you think the immersiveness of a game that's possibly being remade, remastered, or just being brought back, maybe not even from the dead, but just brought back to life? How do you think that immersive nature and tendency will allow this game to flourish as we're talking about things like VR or metaverse, virtual reality, crazy shit?
Not to go back to nostalgia, but I think that's the biggest aspect of immersion that people are going to fall into. In regards to VR, I don't think Call of Duty is. I don't think you can play Call of Duty games.
Not yet.
VR yet.
That off year that they're going to be having in 2023, there's supposedly some sort of side project.
Yeah. Yes.
Out.
There's supposed to be another free to play too, I think, launch.
Yeah, free to play. I don't know what it's going to be. It could, if I had to guess, it's either going to be like BR strategy or like VR related. You could see something like that, but
that would be nuts. That would be super cool. I'm gonna vote for that.
Sure.
Did you guys ever watch Shark Tank?
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
Do you remember a few years ago there was a pitch of a dude that basically tried to make a army training simulator out of a VR headset, and then they had a bubble, so you could play a first-person shooter game in VR, but you also had to like run with it. If you wanted to move your character.
Yes, I do remember that. Yep, I do remember that.
physically walk around.
Yeah, you had to like walk it. Now the ball, because you're in like a suspended hamster ball or hamster wheel.
Oh,
like,
okay,
and as you move, it rotates.
Like if you're turning to your side and moving, the ball's gonna like move underneath your feet. You have to get used to it, but like that's where you could eventually progress to. Like you're running into freaking high rise. I'm on Warfare 2, getting ready to jump off a building and snipe somebody. And you actually have to literally
do that.
jump.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I'll see you on Rust.
Right.
Have to run over shit.
Imagine trying to convince your parents to put that in the living room, though.
You're getting rid of the couch.
Getting rid of the couch.
You're getting rid of the bed.
We're moving this.
3 feet.
Yeah, literally.
Garage, no more. It's mine. That's the gaming space
You
now.
can't park your car in here no more.
Nope.
I don't give a shit how much you paid for it.
Let's be honest though, it's gonna be the dad that still loves Call of Duty in 10 years that gets it first, and the kid's gonna go in and try and leech on it.
Dad, please let me play. I'd be like,
No.
Dude. You know what I was doing at 15?
Right.
I was a KARNAGE clan, bitch. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'd be like, Jesus.